Hey everyone, welcome to our full video review for the Aorus X5 V7. To start things off, we definitely should go over the specs that the machine comes with. So let's begin with the CPU, which is an Intel i7-7820HK processor. The GPU is an NVIDIA GTX 1070 with 8GB of GDDR5 RAM. Memory included is 16GB of DDR4. Storage inside is a 256GB M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD and a 1TB 7200 RPM hard disk drive. For connectivity, there's killer gaming network LAN, integrated wireless 802.11ac, plus Bluetooth 4.1 on an M.2. Powering the device is a LiPo polymer 94.24 watt-hour battery and a 200 watt AC power adapter as well. There's a built-in HD web camera above the 15.6-inch IPS 3K anti-glare matte LCD screen at the resolution of 2880 by 1620 with G-Sync. On the left-hand side of the device is a mini display port, USB Type-C Thunderbolt port, USB Type-C 3.1 port, and a microphone and headphone jack. On the right-hand side, you have an SD card reader, 2 USB 3.0 ports, and an HDMI port. And on the back, you have the AC power port for charging, 2 more USB 3.0 ports, and the Ethernet port. Taking a look at the internals of the laptop, first off, down in the very front, we have the battery pack. We have speakers on the very far sides of the machine as well. Then we have a hard disk drive for storage located right here. This is a 2.5-inch bay. If you wanted to upgrade to solid state memory, you could definitely do that, or you could just get a larger capacity drive if you want more storage. For other storage options, we have an open M.2 slot in the very middle of the machine, and then we have an M.2 currently installed to the machine too, that comes with it. And then we have a Bluetooth and a Wi-Fi card on an M.2 as well. Then at the very top, in the middle, we have 2 open slots for memory. You could expand your memory, as the 2 current ones in there are on the back side of the board. So you have 2 open ones you could expand with if you want some more RAM. And then of course we have our fans in the corners, the heat's going out the back and out the sides, and we have an array of heat pipes kind of all over the place to help cool both the GPU and the CPU. Let's talk about the X5's keyboard. It has the all-new RGB Fusion lighting that has many presets for lighting options, as well as the user's ability to set up each individual key. On the left side of the keyboard, there are a number of macro buttons that you can also use for shortcuts in program. The keys themselves are pretty nice to use and have short travel with tactile feedback. There's a little bit of flex in the face of the keyboard, but definitely nothing major. The monitor on the X5 is nice with its IPS display. Colors look great and the black levels are bold. Viewing angles are also good thanks to that IPS technology. The 3K resolution is the sweet spot for a 1070. We'll get to FPS numbers in a minute, but games look great and you'll always be able to downscale if you want to. The touchpad is an all-in-one unit with the left and right click buttons built into the bottom. Accuracy for the touchpad seems good enough and has a smooth matte finish that feels good to the touch. Included in the box with the X5 are some feet standoffs that you can add to the bottom of the device, a USB drive with utilities and drivers, and the power cable for charging the laptop. As for the weight of the machine, alone by itself, it weighs 5.6 pounds, and if you team it up with the included power cables, you're looking at bringing around 7.1 pounds. As for the temperatures of the machine, while under gaming loads, you can see that things do get a little bit warmer towards the middle of the machine, but nothing that is overly hot, but definitely that's where the heat is primarily. The rest of the laptop stays in a good spot. Moving on to our benchmarks, we started things off with Firestrike, which scored 14,003, which is better than 83% of all devices that have ran this test. Our next tests were with Cinebench. Our OpenGL score was 127, and our CB score for the processor was 810. You can see how it stacks up on the left-hand side of the screen. Next, we moved on to Crystal Disk to check our read and write speeds of the solid-state drive and the hard disk drive. We had read speeds of 1491 and write speeds of 1108 for the solid-state drive. And then our hard disk drive read at 129 megabytes and wrote at 124. Now moving on to our real-world testing with actual games, we did all of our benchmarks in the native resolution of the screen. We started things off with Rise of the Tomb Raider on medium, high, and on very high, and had FPS ratings of 78, 72, and 60. The temperature of the GPU was at 83 degrees, and the CPU was at 88. Our second test was with Dirt Rally on a medium high and on ultra with MSAA at ×4. We had FPS ratings of 142, 111, and 84. The GPU's temperature was at 85 degrees Celsius and the CPU's was at 87. And for our final test, we did Hitman on medium high and on ultra. We had FPS readings of 90, 74, and 71. The GPU's temperature was at 85 degrees Celsius and the CPU's was at 90. If you're looking to put a personal touch on your machine, be sure to check out our extensive customization options before checkout, including upgrades available to RAM, storage, cooling, overclocking, custom paint, hydro and graphic wraps, laser etching, and much, much more. If you'd like to take a closer look at any of the specific BIOS menu screens, make sure that you pause the video and view the one you would like to see closer. If not, always be sure to check out the product link in the description, or leave us any comments down below if you have a question for us here at Exotic PC. I've been Andrew, saying thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for future product overviews and reviews.